café para despertarte, un vaso helado de Polar Pop o un Froster para continuar tu día, la nueva suscripción Sip and Save de Circle K te mantendrá refrescante cada día. Suscríbete al Sip and Save de Circle K y lleva tu bebida de cualquier tamaño, cualquier día por solo $5.99 al mes. Suscríbete usando tu número móvil al pagar en Circle K. Oferta por tiempo limitado en ubicaciones participantes.
Including retirement planning, estate planning, and so much more. Call Lanphier & Associates today at 916-447-0222 to schedule your free consultation. That's 916-447-0222. Or visit us on the web at lanphierlawattorneys.com. Se habla español.
Tenemos una gran oportunidad para ti. Llama al 916-333-2892. Puedes estar trabajando mañana. Quick Registration ofrece lente pago y un buen ambiente de trabajo.
See why teachers have better work stories by going to teach.org and learn more about becoming a teacher. Brought to you by teach.org and the Ad Council.
If you put in an offer with a 30 or 45-day close, chances are your offer won't stand up to the competition. One way to get around that is with a 15-day close. A faster close instills more confidence in the seller, which can put your offer at the top.
Listen each weekday at 7:10 a.m. and 4:40 p.m. for
Honey, the perfect flavor of sweet and heat. Get it on the hand-breaded chicken sandwich you know, with crispy bacon and melty Swiss. Or if it's morning, hot honey on the hand-breaded chicken biscuits you crave. Honey just got its own stinger. Try it for yourself with the new hot honey hand-breaded chicken lineup now at Cost Jr.
Available for limited time at participating House Junior restaurants. Hot honey hand-breaded chicken biscuit is available during regular breakfast hours. Price of participation may vary.
I'm Tom Nakashima. These days, it's more important than ever to have access to super-fast, reliable in-home Wi-Fi. And now that summer has come to a close, your family will spend more time inside and on their devices. That's why I count on the gold standard, Xfinity Internet. Do more of what you love. Stream movies, your favorite shows, video chat, work from home. Xfinity delivers, even when everybody's on their devices at the same time. That's a game changer. Get the speed you need to power your devices with Xfinity. Get started with a great offer for Xfinity Internet, just $19.90 a month for 12 months with a one-year agreement. Or ask about Wi-Fi speed faster than a gig. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay, ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply.
Problem. Whether you're struggling with your weight or dealing with symptoms of low testosterone or ED, you need a specialized healthcare professional who understands the big picture. So, I want to tell you about Revive Men's Health. For the last 10 years, Revive Men's Health has helped tens of thousands of men with clinically backed treatments for low T and ED. Now, Revive Men's Health is bringing this breakthrough approach to weight loss. Revive will create weight loss plans specifically for you, built on custom nutrition and metabolism-boosting treatments that are backed up by ongoing support to make sure you keep that weight off. Revive Men Health specializes in custom treatments for men. So what are you waiting for? It's time to rethink your approach to weight loss. To celebrate 10 years of helping improve the lives of men, Revive Men Health is offering initial consultations for just $49. Call 916-277-8599 to schedule a personalized and confidential consultation today for just $49. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to schedule an appointment.
15% on thousands of pieces of fall decor, and 20% off our huge selection of Halloween decorations. One visit and you'll see why we say Pottery World, home decor, and so much more. El Dorado Hills and Rockland.
Extra 20% off your trademark fall look with your coupon or Macy's card. That's on top of 25% off fab fall looks from Ink, Alfani, and more. And 40% off bath and bedding from Oak, mindfully made and created for Macy's. Or save fresh boots and shoes. Buy two, get 40% off. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members can earn even faster during Macy's Star Money bonus days. Going on now. Details at Macy's.com/Star Money. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
There's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton. With Big C, this is Charlton, and Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C. And them good boys around the country, I want to say they show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. You can go by and test drive your Tellum Charlton and Big C Center, as well as a fleet of Cadillac cars. Also, all around the world, there's 17 podcast applications on this beautiful October the 6th, 2021. Gone to the Deportes, Bonjour, de Vini Vidi Vici. You got to say welcome to the show, but there's like 17 podcast applications, and I appreciate it as we get people from all over the world following Big C Sports Podcast. As I always tell you, we have Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Alexa Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Give us some proof. We also have Speaker Podcasts. We have so many other podcasts that I really do appreciate the way things are growing with Big C Sports Podcast. We have Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. It's better to have a smart TV. Everybody's sitting there looking at a stock picture. Also, we have iHeartRadio Podcasts. There's so many. I got to learn to count better from iHeartRadio Podcasts. We have Castbox, Deezer Podcast, Podcast Addict, Podcaster, Geo Savon. Yeah, give me some praise before I run out of breath, if that makes sense to you. Yeah, Podcast Addict, Hubhopper, Stitcher, Radio Line, Luminary Podcast, and a lot of smart podcasts over the universe. Really appreciate the way things are going with Big C Sports. So many things are so fantastic when you have the chance to reach out and touch somebody's hand. There's a song by the day, I think it's by Roberta Flack. It's called Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand and Make This World a Better Place if you can. I'm always trying to reach out and touch somebody's hand, but it's always better when you have somebody reaching up, touching somebody's hands with you, all fair in love and war. I want to also say I homage on every show to my family legacy. It's so important to me that I do that. And my mother, on her side, Mamo, the matriarch of the family, Pop, the patriarch of the family, former Negro League baseball player, also a great-great-grandfather. And then my grandmother, Mud, she was a seer. She could see things. Give her some praise. Has been a big instrument in my life. A lot of things have happened because of her benefit to me. Really appreciate that. Also, I want to say, as I pay homage to my father's side of the family, Albert Curry. He was my, I guess, a pastor, a good pastor. Give him some praise. Give him praise. We always ask for praise in the church. And then my grandmother, Alberta Curry, she's the matriarch of the family, gave us a lot of love and a lot of support. Just a lot of things that we needed to grow as a family. And my voice, I channel my brother Todd, has a very powerful voice. Hello, he always said hello, sound like a thunderstorm, all in love and war. I also want to say, as we say, let's get ready to rumble. Really appreciate that. So many great things have happened in my life because I do pay homage to my family. And Espy nominated Big C Sports Podcast. Why Espy nominated? Because try it by yourself. No scripts, no three-way producer, no three-way teleprompters, no producer in my ear. Only thing in my ear is earwax, and I'm very proud of it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. If God said it's good for you, who am I to say no? Also, why? I honor God in every show. I always get help and stats from my son, Malcolm, who's helped me oftentimes with stats on NBA basketball. And then my daughter, Daisy, at times would help me in the past, as well as Big C. All fair in love and war. But I tell you, I do the show. I produce, number 1. And number 2, I direct the topics. Number 3, I broadcast every show. I broadcast them all. Number 4, I do all the sound effects. Excuse me, that'll break your concentration. I do that. I do the commercials outside of what the agency does. I do the storytelling. Guess who's coming to dinner? And hopefully they have more Big C burgers when I get there. I also do the play-by-play. Touchdown! Home run! 3-point play! Oh, Willie! He's going all the way. That's for you old-time Oakland Raiders fans. And then I upload to 17 podcast applications and 4 TV applications all over the. I don't do it. The agency does it. But if I don't do a show, there's nothing to upload. It's all fair in level world. Think about that for the $10 million in funding that's coming. Also, Big C Sports always pay honor to the universe, just like God said in Genesis 13:15. For all the land that thou seest will I give thee, and thy seed forever. In the book of James, chapter 4, verse 2 says, we have not because we ask not. So whatever you want, just ask. The answer is either yes or no. Can't make everybody happy, but you can always ask that question. I will tell you, I'm going to give out the Veterans Crisis Hotline. I love giving it out because they really are experienced. Help veterans and their loved ones get help And everybody, at some point in time in our lives, we need someone to help us cross the street. We need someone to hold our hands. I love holding the hands of those who try to help others. The Veteran Crisis Hotline, they really do that. Give them some praise. 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. And get our veterans some help. Also, if you're online, go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. You can definitely get some help for our veterans and their loved ones. Also, very happy to be affiliated with Valley Homes Weekly TV on Dish TV, Direct TV, AT&T Uverse. TV of the first place, San Francisco Giants. Give them some praise. Oh my God, baseball is amazing. Have a great game that happened last night in Boston with the Boston Red Sox knocking out the New York Yankees by the score of 6-2, which I predicted it makes sense to him. The Yankees win. Oh, Yankees win. Not last night. Boston, my friend, said, not so fast, my friend. The great Lee Corso said, not so fast, my friend. To the New York Yankees is all fair in Leavenworth. Got the Dodgers at the Vets Arena tonight. They're taking on the St. Louis Cardinals, looking for a Dodger win. The defending world champion, all fair in Leavenworth. But when you reach out to the Giants, just tell them Charlton wants those World Series tickets. I know they're coming. And also just tell them Big C sent you. For those of you looking for houses, you want to lower your mortgage payment, you want to swipe left and swipe right on the Big C Team's home real estate dating app. It's not like dating one that you meet on the internet. You don't know where they've been lip-locked in the last couple of days. You might be date number 42 of that week, if that makes sense to you, or at least that month. Unlike the dating on the people go out whatever these .com sites are that people date on and do what they got to do. A house never leaves. You always know what that house is. Sometimes people forget how to get back home. Houses don't forget until they can't blame the UPS or the GPS or UPS, if that makes sense to you. They can't blame GPS. A house never leaves. It's always there. You just want to lower your mortgage payment, go to Big C King at bigcsports.tacwm.com and see if we can get your real estate solved. Also looking to recruit 10,000 real estate agents all over this great country to help put people back to work, just like McDonald's does it, car dealerships do it, Nike does it. Also watch real estate and TV work for you. 800-772-8624. If you're looking for opportunities, go to bigcsports.tacwm.com. Also, I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, God said, let there be light. Open your cell phones and say it. Play Big C Sports Podcast. You will see our apps pop up all over the universe. Really appreciate that. And you can find out more about what's going on this sports show. Also, I want to say this segment is sponsored by Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, 100% on your game. Sports fans watch the big game, eat the Big C burger. It's a tasty burger. And it comes with, what's all those exotic meats? A lot of people want to know, really, what are those exotic meats? If that makes sense. It's not oxtail. I can guarantee it's not oxtail. It tastes better in your mouth than it does in your hands. Now, I can guarantee that. Most people, I'm going to do a quiz about the best tasting thing you ever had in your mouth. Now put it in your hands. Which one tastes better, the mouth or the hands? The Big C burger always tastes better in your hands, and that's a guarantee, if that makes sense to you. I remember when I was a young boy growing up, there was a guy that sold mobile homes, and he said, I'll make a deal. If I can't beat the deal that you got, I will stand on my head to make you a deal. If you don't like the way the Big C burger tastes in your mouth more than in your hands, I will stand on my head. If it tastes better in your hands than it does in your mouth, I will stand on my head. And that's not going to happen. I've never had to stand on my head yet. All fair and level. Well, what a great Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Some people call it Happy Hump Day. All fair and level. I'm going to take what's called the Big C Boss, also known as the Big C Timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk about how about those Major League Baseball players in Boston. Boston's been celebrating like it's 1999. In the words of the former California Governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days on 17 podcast applications and 4 TV applications. It's all fair and level. Where I want to say also, everybody's into fantasy sports. Go to Super Draft Pro. Fantasy Sports by Caesars Entertainment. Just go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports for the all-purpose website featured in Sports Illustrated, Yahoo Sports, Associated Press, RotoWire, Also, Sportico, for all you sports fantasy fans, subscribe to unlock the exclusive fantasy games and sports betting exclusives of Super Draft Pro, the official fantasy partners of Caesars Entertainment. Go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. It's all fair in love and war. I'm telling you, there's so much going on in the sports universe. I really do appreciate everything that's happening with Big C Sports. So many people are loving Major League Baseball. I told you I love that seven. The pitch, swung on here deep, left field, back to the wall. Say hello to my little friends. All fair in 11 war. Got the Dodgers tonight playing the St. Louis Cardinals. But last night in the Major League Baseball universe in Beantown, everybody's loving sports in Boston. I've been saying that for a long time. Boston has a great sports town, and a lot of people really had the chance to see what was going on last night in Boston. You know, something amazing when you think about it. Last night, everybody felt the Yankees had better talent. But sometimes talent doesn't always win. It's what you do with that talent. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 6-2. And I know you guys give the Red Sox some praise. Give them praise. Give them praise. They had a 6-2 win over the New York Yankees. And I know a lot of people were saying, well, they didn't expect that. Because if you were to look at it, just by the lineup alone, you would think the Yankees had the better lineup. And they do, but sometimes good old boys making $36 million a year decide they don't want to anymore. So they beat the Yankees 6-2 in the American League wildcard game. They advanced to the American League Division Series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Well, guess who's coming to dinner? The Tampa Bay Rays coming to dinner. That's all fair in 11 war. But when I think about it, everybody loves baseball. Boston was stumbled into the wildcard game and then clinched home field advantage on the final day of the regular season that they got a lot of praise from their fans back in Boston. Give them all some praise. When you think about it, they had to find a way to get past Garrett Cole. And he helped them. He said, I don't feel like pitching. They said, Garrett, you know we're in the playoffs? He said, yeah, but my tummy doesn't fit. It's all fair. His tummy doesn't feel good. How about that $36 million? That should make your tummy feel good. It took less than 3 innings. Xander Bogaerts opened up in the scoring by taking Cole deep. He went to Cole, the pitch, swung on here deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. It's all fair in 11 war. And it took him deep for a 2-run home run. Kyle Schwarber, it then banged a solo homer. The pitch, swung on here deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. So Kyle Schwarber had banged a solo homer to lead off in the 3rd inning after a single by Kiki Hernandez and the walk by Rafael Devers. The Yankee starter was done. He said, man, my tummy hurts. Anyone know where I can get a Big C burger, tasty burger, and it comes with all things exotic meats? And the Yankees said, man, we're in the playoffs. But the Boston fans cheered. He said, let him go eat the Big C burger. Nate Eovaldi looked part of the 8 striking out 8 through 5 in the 3rd innings. Of his 71 pitchers, 54 was for a strike. He struck him out. He threw a strike. That's how you win games. And then Anthony Rizzo hit a solo home run to put the Yankees on the board. But Eric, you ever go have to see the judge for anything? That's not a good feeling going to judge. Unless it's to waive off those parking tickets. They rarely do that. But Aaron Judge got on base with a single. Alex Cora turned to Ryan Brazier to get the Red Sox out of the 6th. With just 1 game and 12 pitchers on the wild card game roster, the Red Sox manager wasn't going to waste any time. The Red Sox crawled up the momentum by the Yankees when Hernandez relayed to Bogaerts, who gunned down Aaron Judge at the plate. If you ever saw it, the crowd went nuts. For a moment, I thought he was safe. But then they showed the replay. I said, okay, he's out. So much for the prop better. If he was in New York, if they were in New York Yankee Stadium, he would have been safe at home. All fair level war. But I really appreciate how great that game was last night. The Red Sox put another run on the board. In the bottom of the 6th, thanks to an RBI double by Alex Verdugo, the right fielder, corner off for Luis Sereno. And Bogaerts scored from first after a huge call by the 3rd base coach, Carlos Phobos, who sent the shortstop home on a weak arm, Gleyber Torres, who took the really throw away from Judge. Sometime when you go see the judge, let the judge go home. If that makes sense to you. But the people in Boston were all happy about it. I'm telling you, it was a great baseball game, great theater. I know the Red Sox opened up the lead later in the game, but that was a great baseball game. I mean, the crowd was going nuts. You gotta love the Red Sox crowd at Fenway. I told you it's one of my favorite baseball ballparks in the Major League Baseball universe. It's the same old urine since 1912. Really is. I don't know for myself, but some people told me it's the same urine since 1912. Some things have been left unsaid. All fair. They like their real estate dating up. You know what Fenway Park is? It's not like those Nouveau Riche ballparks. You don't know where they're located. All you know is Fenway Park is there, and it's a beautiful park, and everybody says a little bit rustic, but sometimes you appreciate that because of the history involved with it. So that's what I love about it. All spirit and Leavenworth. Congratulations to the Boston Reds. You're moving on to the ALDS, and now you got to play the Tampa Bay Rays. But if you can beat the Yankees the way you beat them, maybe you can beat the Rays too. I mean, it'd be great to see Boston in the World Series with the San Francisco Giants. Just my opinion, all fair and Leavenworth. I mean, if you think about it, it might be more exciting than the Alabama-Texas A&M game coming up this weekend. That makes you see it Saturday on CBS Sports, 8 o'clock East Coast time. 2000 Major League Baseball universe. The defending world champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. All fair and Leavenworth. They play the National League. And why are they in the playoff game? Second best team in baseball. That's because the way it's set. That's what they're going to do. They're playing the St. Louis Cardinals. Two veteran flamethrowers move to the center of the frame. National League wild card game tonight. Oh my goodness. He was raised by Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a gunslinger. His name is Max Scherzer of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's going to take on the great, also raised by the great Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a gunslinger for the St. Louis Cardinals. His name is Adam Wainwright. And the St. Louis Cardinals, a postseason clash that's already in the way. We're going to hear the pitch. Swung on, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair and Leavenworth. You won't see a lot of home runs tonight hit at Espy'S because the pitching is just too good, in my opinion. All fair and Leavenworth. Now, the Cardinals at one time, they had won 17 in a row. They had a fantastic finish to reach this game out of the National League Central because the White Sox took care of that. And the winner of this one-game series will face the number 1 seed, San Francisco Giants, the City by the Bay. All fair and Leavenworth. And then that begins later this week on Friday. First pitch is 8:10 p.m. East Coast time. Tonight, Los Angeles already underway. Caesars Sportsbook, the list Los Angeles as a big favorite in this game with the money line. I don't really get into betting, so I don't give out too much about that. But when you think about it, before they're making any Dodgers and Cardinals picks, the sports line, they're picking heavy on the Dodgers. And I don't really get into the betting too much. But I do know that there's some good old boys that's 40-20 in this last 60 Major League Baseball picks. But I'm not promoting that. It's all fair in Leavenworth. What I do like is that the Dodgers and the Cardinals, when you think about it, the 2021 National League Wildcard Game picks, predictions, you can go to sports lines and sports books all over the country, but the Dodgers are heavy favorites to win that game tonight. It doesn't mean they're going to win. It's about pitching. And when you can pitch your way into Major League Baseball, and the crowd's going to be amazing. We already know that. The crowd's going to be nuts down at Espy'S. They'll be cheering at the top of their lungs at Espy'S. It's a great place. Now, there's some people, they say, why should you look at the Cardinals? Why should you back the Cardinals? They finished the season on a tear, winning 19 of the last 22 games to clinch a spot in the contest. To me, that's sometimes your luck can just run out. 19 of 22 games, clinch a spot in the contest. They're a top 5 team in the National League in batting, averaging .244. And strikeout avoidance, with St. Louis also stealing 89 bases. So keep an eye on that when they get a runner on first base. And they rank number 3 in the league when it comes to, you got Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, and Nolan Arenado lead the offense with more than 30 home runs each. That's the pitch. Swung on, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. It's all fair in Leavenworth. When you can hit that many home runs, everybody's going to try to get a man on base. But you hit home runs, you get a man across the plate. That's why the Dodgers pitching will be key. Now, Wainwright, he leads in the top 10 of the National League at ERA at 3.4, actually 3.05 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger, allows 7.3 hits per 9 innings. That's pretty solid. Walks allowed per 9 innings, just 2.1. In innings pitched, the guy's amazing. The high-end experience big game St. Louis also deploys an above-average bullpen with a season low. Think about it. It's a season-long 3.97 ERA. Top 5 in the National League and wins above replacement 2021. I mean, if you have any hope coming out of St. Louis, you got a chance. But in my opinion, the reason I'm going with the Dodgers, yeah, give me some praise. Give me some praise just in case I need World Series tickets in LA. I'm still going with the Giants. But why the Dodgers should win this game tonight, give them some praise. It's brought by the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with, what's all this exotic meat? Why would the Dodgers win tonight's wildcard game? In addition to having the deepest team in baseball and a tremendous offensive profile that includes 830 runs to lead the National League this season. Give them some praise. They scored 830 runs. That's almost as many airlines that take off and land at LAX. In a day, they did it over the season. All spread 11 war. The Dodgers can take a lot of faith and hope in the sending their truly elite starting pitcher to the mound. Great Scherzer doing his thing. A 1.98 ERA since joining the Dodgers. You gotta go to the dugout and say, did I strike out? Excuse me, did he break my concentration? I was standing in the batter's box about a second ago. Now I'm out sitting in the dugout with you good old boys. That's because Max Scherzer can do that to you. When you think about it, he's number 2. Think about this. He's number 2 in the National League with a 2.46 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger. Overall, Scherzer leads the National League in hits allowed at 5.9 per 6 innings. Give that man some praise. Give him some praise. He deserves it. And walks allowed just 1.8 per 9 innings. Among qualified starters, he's also number 2 in the National League. And strikeouts, talk about fastball down the middle, 100 miles per hour. The man's amazing. I mean, I'm not trying to brag on him. You could just Google his numbers. Pitching out 11.8 batters per 9 innings. You're talking about 12 batters in a game. Come on, give that man some praise. I told you he's a Jedi Knight. Since arriving in Los Angeles, Scherzer has 89 strikeouts in just 8 walks. I told you the man some praise. Only 8 walks since he came to LA. I love LA. We love it. 89 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and he's painting the picture of his dominance. If he struggles or tries to, Scherzer can also hand the game to National League's best bullpen. The Dodgers lead the league in wins above replacement for the relievers. They have think about this, their bullpen 3.16 ERA. The relievers coming in 3.16 ERA. Striking out 9.6 batters for 9 innings. You got to give them praise. If they don't win, something's up. I took your prop betting all fair and level word. If they don't win, something's up. Is all I can say. Something is up if they don't win. If you don't like the Big C Burger, something's up. If that makes sense to you. All fair and level word. So, I love baseball. Before we get up on the Big C pause, I think we're seeing something so special. Last night we saw the Boston Red Sox knock out the New York Yankees, give them some praise, and now we're seeing tonight on the West Coast, St. Louis is the arch of the West, and LA is the second best city in the West outside of San Francisco. This is my opinion. People in LA might not agree, but there's no place like San Francisco, the Bay Area, all of Northern California. But think about this. If you think about the Dodgers and Cardinals 2021 National League wildcard game, what critical factors make one side or the money line? I'm telling you, there are people in the sporting world, the betting world, from the money line of Major League Baseball that are 34-18 and has 52 picks involving the Dodgers. You got that kind of pitching, you're not going to lose to too many teams. So I picked the Boston Red Sox to beat the New York Yankees last night. You can Google it. And I'm also picking the Los Angeles Dodgers to beat the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. It's just the powerful atmosphere down at Chavez Ravine tonight in Los Angeles. I was saying, if you in Boston, you could go to Game 7 of the World Series, Boston Red Sox versus the San Francisco Giants. You could go to Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Boston Celtics versus, say, Golden State Warriors. You can go to the Super Bowl, say Boston, say the New England Patriots versus the Just say Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just for number's sake, for proximity's sake. I mean, for Boston fans, the Red Sox may be the hottest ticket out of an NBA Finals, out of a Super Bowl that had the great touchdown Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, and out of the World Series. I would say the Boston fans would choose to go to the World Series Game 7. If you're in LA, if you pick the team, whether the Rams in the Super Bowl or the Chargers, or the Lakers in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, or the LA Dodgers in the Game 7, say versus the Boston Sox, I know people might say, oh, LA's about the Lakers. I would tell you more fans in LA would want to go see the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Boston Red Sox in Game 7 of the World Series more than the LA Lakers and Boston Celtics in the Game 7 of the NBA Finals. That's my opinion. I've done my own research, and I think that research is pretty accurate. We're going to take what's called the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the sports that's going on in the sports universe. In the world of the former California governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the Terminator, I'll be back. All right, we are back for the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on 17 podcast applications all over the universe. All fair and Leavenworth. Some more Major League Baseball news as we have a beautiful environment down at Espy'S Ring in Southern California. The crowd's going amazing down there with the Dodgers and also the Cardinals. Logan Webb to start Game 1. Kevin Gausman Game 2 for the San Francisco Giants in the NLDS. That series, we'll touch base on that on Friday. What a great thing. They're going to play either the Dodgers or the Cardinals. My pick will be the Giants and the Dodgers because it just seems right that baseball needs some praise. And the Giants-Dodgers, oh my goodness. I mean, you can't get much tighter than that. And then the San Diego Padres, they fire J.C. Tingler after falling short of his big goals. Minnesota Twins reassessing hitting coach Edgar Borella to minor league role, have 3 staff openings. So anyone looking for a job, the Minnesota Twins have some openings. Terry Francona will be confident he'll return as the Cleveland Indians or Guardians manager for 2022. Major League Baseball, they're finalizing their vaccine mandate for minor leaguers in 2022. So hopefully they'll get that figured out. People can get vaccinated. They got to know that. Chicago White Sox slugger Jose Abreu will travel to Houston and he tests negative for COVID-19. So give him some praise for testing negative and doing all the social distancing. Chicago Cubs working on an extended manager, David Ross. Hopefully he'll get that. I know they had a bad year this year. But I really love what's going on in Major League Baseball. Trevor Story won't rule out a return to the Colorado Rockies, but says winning is at the top of his list among other priorities as a free agent. Now, I love what's going on in Major League Baseball. I really feel like this year is a special year. We still started with the COVID challenges, and everybody knows that it's a tough year for a lot of people. I give our first responders some praise. If you're a first responder and you help people get back on top of things, give our first responders some praise. Give us some praise. Give them all some praise. People saying they don't want to get vaccinated, but they go to the hospital. Who helps them? First responders. First responders helping everybody. Those who are vaccinated and those who are not vaccinated. All fair in Leavenworth. So I really appreciate our first responders keeping everybody happy. Have you noticed all the sports venues are full now? You know why? Because people getting vaccinated. Not because of the people that say, I don't believe in vaccinations. Most children, when they're born, they're vaccinated. Smallpox, measles, they get vaccinations. I mean, we get it all the time. People in the military, when you go to a foreign country, they shoot a gun in the air. Not like a gun with the bullets, but if it has a vaccine, it has whatever you need to stay safe. So a lot of people got to understand that too. I really appreciate when people listen to the medical doctor. So again, give our first responders some praise. Give them praise. I want to take a look. I know we did a lot on Major League Baseball first half of the show. I'm going to talk about college football. Are you ready for football? Let's get ready to rumble. It's like only Wednesday. It's only Wednesday. I'm hungry. I want the Big T burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meat. It's all fair in Leavenworth. I want to look at actually some college football, some remaining undefeated teams. It doesn't mean that they're the best team, but they're just undefeated. Number 1, we have Alabama. Their next game is 8 p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th. They're at College Station, Texas A&M, where the crowd will be loud for about 3 quarters. And then Alabama most likely pull away. The Crimson Tide survived a scare at Florida 31-29. They were up 21-3 in that game. That was in week 3 when Alabama stopped Florida's potential game time 2-point conversion attempt. Alabama since lost to Kentucky since beat Florida. Alabama hadn't lost to anybody. Nick Saban's squad took out another ranked team in week 5 when they doubled up Ole Miss 42-21. And Bryce Young is a real deal. My early pick for the college football Heisman Trophy out of Santa Ana, California, Mater Dei High School. Number 2, I had Oregon, but they decided to go quack, 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 and Stafford on the farm. They had a 3rd down and 1 of a freaking class of football. They should have run it twice. It's all fair and level where Cristobal. Isn't it something? Clay Helton got fired at USC because he lost the game to Stafford in blowout fashion. And then Stafford knocks off the number 2 in the country in the Oregon Ducks. Maybe Clay Helton didn't have a bad game after all. That's just a thought. Stafford knocked off USC. They knocked off Oregon. They had a loss on the road to Kansas State. Maybe it's an early game with a letdown. Kansas State, pretty decent team. But a coach fired by losing the game to Stafford. That Stafford knocked off USC and Oregon, number 2 in the country, after Oregon went to Ohio State and beat them down. Clay Helton's going, now you see, wasn't me, wasn't my fault. California San Andreas' fault? Not my fault. All fair and love and work. Number 2, Georgia 5-0. Next game, 3:30 p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th at number 18, Auburn. Auburn had a great comfort behind win over LSU. Georgia might have a great defense, but the Vols have allowed just 23 points through 5 games, including back-to-back shutouts. You got to give them some praise. Give a Bulldog some praise. In fact, this segment is sponsored by the Big T Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meat? I'm not eating dogs, okay, so don't get it twisted. But the Auburn Tigers are a war eagle. You got a dog. What's the difference between a dog, a tiger, and a war eagle? I don't know. Football. It's all fair and love and war, man. The difference between a dog, a tiger, and a war eagle? What's the difference? I don't know. I know they all have good football teams. That stuff is similar. I don't know much different about it. But, well, the eagle can fly, the dog and the tiger can't. Unless you've been drinking too much of that moonshine. I've seen some dogs fly. I've heard about it from my friends in the South. You drink enough of that moonshine, everything starts to fly. That's it. I've seen guys throw TVs out the window. Too much moonshine in the system. But Georgia has a great defense. They had some shutouts against Vanderbilt. You expect that? Arkansas? No, Arkansas is good. South Carolina, 13 points are the most any team has scored against the Bulldogs this season. And the Gamehawks still lost by 27 points. So we'll see what happens down the road with that Georgia defense. Number 3, I'm going to put number 3, Penn State. The Penn State Nittany Lions, when they play with that whiteout crowd, is amazing. They're 5-0. And Sports Center, they're going to kick off down in the Texas-Oklahoma game. They could have been at Iowa Penn State. They're higher ranked, undefeated. Google it. Penn State, next game, 4 p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th, at number 3, Iowa. What a great environment that's going to be. The crowd would be great. I love how they pay homage to the kids in that hospital that can be inside of the stadium. But Saturday's Penn State-Iowa matchup is going to pit a pair of top 4 teams against each other in a massive Big Ten clash. Only one will leave this weekend undefeated. And Penn State, I'm thinking about it, the list of wins include Wisconsin, Auburn, and Indiana. All friend level war. So my number 3 team, I'm going to go Penn State. Number 4, I'm going to go Iowa. The Iowa Hawkeyes, give them some praise. I know people might not feel Iowa's very fast. Next game, Saturday, 4 p.m. Coast time, October 9th, versus Penn State. And I got Penn State at number 3. The Hawkeyes climbed the rankings. They're number 4 in my opinion in the AP poll after a rout against Maryland, which was undefeated at the time. The Hawkeyes forced 7 turnovers. Iowa's 11.6 points allowed per game, ranked 2nd in the country through week 5 behind only Georgia. And the Hawkeyes have a massive matchup in week 6 when number 4 Penn State comes to town. The crowd would be amazing. The crowd would be nuts. I'm going to go with Penn State to get that win. I know it's tough to beat Iowa at home. Sometimes get a little home cooking. What goes good with corn Nittany Lion, if that makes sense to you. Might be a little home cooking corn and Nittany Lion, and you go to us and Google what that means. Number 5, I'm going to go with Oklahoma. They're 5-0. They play the next game, 12 o'clock p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th versus number 21 Texas on ABC Sports. Now the Sooners defeated Kansas State 37-31 on the road in Week 5 after having lost each of the team's previous 2 meetings. So the after loss against Kansas State not looking so bad. After all, they played Oklahoma very close. Think about this, though. I know Stanford also lost to UCLA. Pac-12 very balanced. But after having lost each team to the previous 2 meetings, the week before Oklahoma escaped West Virginia 16-13, following a 7-point over Nebraska. So who knows what Oklahoma is, but we'll find out. Number 5, Oklahoma. I'm going to put number 6, Cincinnati. The Bearcats are 4-0. Lost when I said they were going to lose at Notre Dame, but they beat Notre Dame fair and square. I was wrong. Jesus! You let us down! Play like a champion. Cincinnati played like a champion. The next game, 7 o'clock p.m. East Coast time, Friday, October 8th versus Temple on ESPN. In Cincinnati's non-conference slate in the books, the Bearcats, they have road wins over Indiana. Not that good, but they're still a Big Ten team. And Notre Dame. That was a shocker to me. They beat Notre Dame. It's the way they did it. They did a good job handling Notre Dame start to finish. So each of the wins came out double digits. They're going to open the AAC play with a pair of home games at their stadium against Temple and University of Central Florida. Michigan, who's got it better than us? There's about 8 teams right now. But Michigan, Coach Harbaugh has a good team. Them Good Boys are 5-0. Next game, 7:30 p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th at Nebraska on ABC Sports. Now, Michigan's won in Madison. They beat Wisconsin in Week 5. They had not won there since 2001. So give Coach Harbaugh some praise. Give him praise to go beat Wisconsin on the road. A 2013 win over Rutgers Week 4 has been exceptional as far as margin of victory. Michigan's a good team. Their defense is good. They opened up the season. They knocked off the University of Washington Huskies, but everybody has. But give them praise. Number 10, and these are undefeated teams. I still think, Oregon was missing their offensive coordinator when they lost to Stanford. I'm not making an excuse to David Shaw. He always beats Oregon when Oregon's ranked in the top 10. But I'm going to go with BYU at number 10. They're 5-0. Next game for them, 3:30 p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th, versus Boise State. Boise State's a good team. They lost to Central Florida, and they lost to Oklahoma State. Not too bad. They missed a field goal against Oklahoma State. They were on the road against Central Florida. So BYU opened the 2020 season by winning its first 9 games, and they're once again one of the country's last remaining undefeated teams. Give the Cougars some praise. The Wasatch Mountains is a taste. This segment sponsored by the Big T Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meat. Last I heard, a cougar is exotic meat, if that makes sense to you. But this is what surprised me. 2021 schedule included a much tougher competition. BYU owns win over 3 Pac-12 teams. They beat Arizona, and a lot of people do. Their win against Arizona State surprised me. That was surprising. Arizona State had a lot of turnovers. And they just didn't play well. But hey, give them praise. And they beat Utah, interstate rival. So they knocked out 3 Pac-12 teams. So much for saying they don't play good competition. They're a good team, and I'm sticking with it. Number 11, Michigan State, 5-0. Next game, 12 o'clock p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th at Rutgers. Michigan State opened the 2021 season at 17-point win on the road over Northwestern. That put the Spartans halfway to matching their total wins last season. Since then, Michigan State has climbed to within 1 win from bowl eligibility thanks to over Miami, Florida, Nebraska, and Western Kentucky. Give Michigan State some praise. Give them some praise. They really, Tucker's doing a good job there at Michigan State. I know people hate it when he left Colorado, but I think that good boy got more money, and they're rolling. I'm going to go number 12. These are just undefeated teams. I still think Oregon's better than Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State's 5-0. Think about it. The next game is Saturday, October 16th at Texas. The Cowboys, how about the Cowboys? The Cowboys are just 1 two undefeated teams in the Big 12 through Week 5, with the other being Oklahoma, which faces their ranked team in Texas in Week 5. I think it's called a shootout. It's all fair and level war. But the Longhorns top the Sooners. Oklahoma State could be the conference's final remaining team with a perfect record heading to Oklahoma State's own matchup against Texas. With the following win, they had a road win at Boise State because Boise missed a field goal in the last moments of the game. Boise could have won that game. Oklahoma State knocked off back-to-back ranked opponents in Kansas State and Baylor. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go with another team that I like. People may not give them credit, but Kentucky Wildcats, I put them at number 15. They're 5-0. The next game is 7:30 p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th, versus LSU. I got LSU winning that game, even though they had a tough letdown in that loss to Auburn in Death Valley. The crowd was amazing. But the Wildcats are one of three undefeated teams in the SEC. The other two, Alabama and Georgia, are the top two teams in the polls. Kentucky already 3-0 in conference play. They have wins over Missouri, South Carolina, and Florida. So the Wildcats can potentially finish in the top two of the SEC East. Give them good old boys some praise. The bourbon and the moonshine was flowing. All fair and level war. Now for teams that are undefeated, I'm going to give some credit to Coastal Carolina. I had them at number 16. I know people think Coastal Carolina, why them? The next game is 7:30 p.m. East Coast time, Thursday, October 7th, at Arkansas State on ESPNU. You say, why Coastal Carolina? The Chanticleers, one of the sports darlings of the 2020 season, they picked up where they left off, their 5-0 start to the season. In 3 of their first 5 wins, Coastal Carolina broke the 50-point mark, and it was 1 point shy of another game. They have 4 road games in the remaining 7 regular season contests. They may get knocked off on the road, but right now they're undefeated. I'm going to bring up another team that people may not appreciate, but I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to put them right behind Coastal Carolina. I'm going to go with, don't laugh, San Diego State. The Aztecs 4-0. Next game is 9 p.m. East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th, versus New Mexico on Fox Sports 1. Now you say, why San Diego State out of the Mountain West? The Aztecs are holding opponents to 19 points or fewer per game, which is tied for 31st nationally. 2 of San Diego State's 4 wins came against Pac-12 opponents, Arizona and Utah. Utah was expected to have a good team this year, but they've fallen to Mountain West, San Diego State, and also, well, look, Mountain West not too bad. Fresno State knocked off UCLA. That's Mountain West beating the Pac-12. And if you believe this, Boise State really outplayed Oklahoma State. They missed a field goal. They outplayed them. Mountain West pretty good conference this year. I'm going to go with another team that you might laugh at. Don't laugh too loud. I'm going to go Wake Forest. They're 5-0. Next game, 3:30 East Coast time, Saturday, October 9th at ESPNU, playing against Syracuse. Now, the Demon Deacons are the last remaining undefeated team in the ACC. No Clemson, no Syracuse, no Florida State, no Georgia Tech, no Louisville. Wake Forest. They're the last remaining undefeated team in the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference. They've won 3 consecutive games, conference games over Florida State, Virginia, and Louisville. Their number in November could be pretty tough because they have 3 road wins against North Carolina, Clemson, and Boston College, and a home date with North Carolina State. So they're probably not going to finish out undefeated, but right now, give them some praise. Might be the most praise you can give them. Give them praise, praise, praise. All fair and love and more. I love so much about football. I'm going to bring in the Pony Express. Could the Pony Express be the best team in Texas? College team, the Cowboys are the Texans. Not better than the Cowboys. But the next game is 3:30 p.m. East Coast time, Sunday, actually Saturday, October 9th, at Navy on CBS Sports Network. Now, SMU could be Cincinnati's top contender in the AAC, as the 2 are only undefeated teams left conference. The Mustangs ranked 7th nationally in scoring, averaging 42.6 points per game through Week 5, and they've scored at least 35 points in every so far. So that's a good team. Don't knock them. It's not Craig James and Eric Dickerson in the Pony Express, but they scored at least 35 in every game so far. That's when you got to give them praise. I'm going to go one more team out of the Mountain West Conference, the highest altitude in Division I football. Wyoming, 7 p.m. kickoff East Coast time Saturday, October 9th at Air Force on CBS Sports Network. Several of Wyoming's wins have come by narrow margins. That's true. 2 points against UConn. Everybody knocks out UConn. 3 points against Montana State. And then 7 points against Northern Illinois. But the Cowboys are undefeated through Week 5. And they're only one of two Mountain West teams that can say that. That's San Diego State and Wyoming. Give us some praise, even though I think Fresno State's going to win that conference. But that's my opinion. So that's your undefeated team. That doesn't mean they're the best teams in the country, but they're still undefeated, and that matters for something. So I know everybody has their feelings about who's going to win what, who's the best team, who gets more praise. Give them all praise for undefeated. We're going to take what's called the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Time. When I come back, we're going to talk more about what's going on in the sports universe. In the words of the former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on 17 podcast applications all over the universe. Really appreciate that. So some news in the NFL. The New England Patriots, they trade Stephon Gilmore to the Carolina Panthers. The all-pro cornerback expected to make the debut for Carolina. So all fair and level war is going to turn out fine for him in Carolina. They have a good team, even though they took a loss over the weekend to the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? But then the Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy explains the big picture decision to release linebacker Jaden Smith. Why? The Cowboys are rolling. Doesn't make any sense. Frisco, Texas, the Cowboys management met Tuesday for their regularly scheduled personnel meeting. They decided to get rid of a good player. They reviewed each player on the team's roster, decided it was time. There's a big picture roster Cowboys move, Coach Mike McCarthy said. Former Pro Bowl linebacker Jaden Smith has started 56 games. 56 games. Give us a praise. Cowboys said so. Jerry Jones said so. Since 2017, 56 games. But they said they released him because his play, the Cowboys' younger starter, developing quicker than expected. I think it's about money. The leverage given defensive coordinator Dan Quinn in his first season was also a component in pulling the trigger. 2019, Smith signed a 5-year extension through 2025 worth $64 million, $35.5 million guaranteed in the 2021 salary of $7.2 million. Smith is still owed his salary this year, but the Cowboys wanted to avoid another contract implication of the $9.2 million injury guarantee for 2021 that would have triggered Smith had he been hurt this season. But it's all fair and level war. Smith had not missed a game since 2017. Think about that. I don't know. It's all about money, but I don't know. They're winning right now. Why mess with it? They had a 36-28 win over the Panthers. Smith stood nearby in pursuit and was handily blocked out of tackle. The Cowboys, who have rebounded from the 31st ranked run defense to number 6 in the league so far, believe they have better options. I think Smith is part of that option. All fair and level more. You know, you do what you want to do when you have that kind of money. I want to bring it out to San Francisco. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to practice. He didn't practice today. I feel, Atlanta's a good quarterback, but I still think Jimmy should be the starter. They're playing the Cardinals for freaking Christ's sake, if that makes sense to you. But Jimmy G won't practice today. He continues to deal with a calf injury that knocked him out of Sunday's loss to Seattle. Even with the missed practice, Coach Kyle Shanahan left the door open that Jimmy G would be ready to play in Week 5 against Arizona Cardinals. I think that's a good news for the 49ers. He and Trey Lance are the 1-2 option. It's better today, which is good news, Shanahan said. But it's not enough to let him go. Even though they won't rule him out, doctor said to give him another day so he has a chance. I think Jimmy G, speaking after his head coach, said if he does play on Sunday, it would be in a situation battling through him. I mean, everybody plays with pain in the NFL. Some guys play with broken bones. You got to figure it out. When you think about Jimmy G, Sunday's loss at halftime was a painful calf injury. Shanahan noted that earlier this week the injury wasn't that bad as they thought it could have been. You got rookie Trey Lance took over the second half. He struggled at times, but then he also found his groove, had a long touchdown pass. I think it's going to be fine. but it's still going to benefit having that 1-2 combination, in my opinion, with Big C Sports. I think the offense clearly not game plan for the dual threat rookie. Jimmy G missing Wednesday's practice today. Lance gets his first team reps. We'll have a better idea of how the offense is going to run with him being the main guy. With the 49ers bye week coming in week 6, there's extra rest for Jimmy G. But you can't lose this game. This team was picked to challenge for the West, NFC West. You got to find a way to do it. There's some injuries and every team has them. In addition to Jimmy G, tight end George Kittle has a calf injury. He still plays. Offensive tackle Trent Williams, shoulder banged up. My shoulder's banged up. I still do my podcast. Everybody has Samson Ichabod, his hamstring. Kawan Williams has a calf. Javon Kinlaw, Elijah Mitchell shoulder. Josh Norman chest. Everybody's banged up in the NFL. Everybody has some hitch in their giddy up. But you play to win the game. It's not a pain-free game. That's my opinion. They got to stick to it. They got to find a way to stick to it. And I'm just going to tell you tonight, Major League Baseball is amazing down at Chavez Ravine, Los Angeles. I'm going to run down my 5 rookies of the year before we go to a close with the 2021 NFL regular season. A lot of former quarterbacks have realized they're going to be replaced by newer players. But some rookies of the year, I like Micah Parsons, linebacker, Dallas Cowboys. His pass rush ability is amazing. Rashawn Slater, Los Angeles Chargers offensive tackle, keeping people off of Justin Herbert's backside. Jamar Chase, Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver, give him some praise. He can go downfield, catch the long ball. Asante Samuel Jr., back Los Angeles Chargers. He can cover anyone's best receiver. Number 5, I'm going to go Creed Humphrey, Kansas City Chiefs. He's a center trying to do things for touchdowns. It's all fair in Leavenworth. There's a lot of good players. We'll talk more about them as we come up over the weekend. As I tell you, back in the day, there's a man by the name of Drew Bodini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man, and he would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee, rumble, young men rumble. With all you got to use, how can you lose? Why are you eating so many Big C burgers? Ali said, I'm pretty, I'm fast, I can't possibly be beat. I eat so many Big C burgers, it makes me light on my feet. It's all fair in love and war. As my mama always says, there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. If you know any man, woman, or child going through that garbage, please pick a phone and ask for help, because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. And as we always tell you on every Big C Sports show with you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have a super fantastic day.